Hello everyone, and now welcome to game 2 in a series between Yumiko and WFZ. Here on Twisted Meadows, we have Yumiko spawning as the gray human over here on the bottom left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, WFZ spawning as the blue Terran player on the bottom right. Terran, wow, what am I thinking? Terran player, blue Undead player over here on the bottom right. So Undead versus human. I hope this is not me getting a sign of how tired I am. Old age, old age. Yumiko spawning as a human player will be going for a faster building on this Altar of Kings, meaning he will go ahead and try and militia creep out the Goblin Laboratory relatively quickly. Now, it is pretty much well known that an Archmage, if it is able to get a Sobi Mask and also a Tome of Experience off of this particular creep camp, he will have an amazing advantage going into essentially still the early game. Sobi Mask plus level 2 water elementals means a pretty much endless supply of water elementals to push out across the field. Yumiko doesn't have nearly as many options for a fast expansion this time around, because this expansion here actually expands towards his opponent, which he doesn't want to do, and this expansion off over here is a bit far for the militia to run. It can still make there and start to deal some damage, but in the long run, you just lose a lot of that DPS. Yumiko now gonna go ahead and speed build, as we are seeing a Mountain King being trained, so this is gonna be Footman and Mountain King already here on Twisted Meadows. Back down over here, Necropolis, we are seeing a crypt, a graveyard. There is that Tomb of Relics once more. And will WFZ actually be able to shut down Yumiko? That is a question. Footman now making its rounds. Where is it going to be going next, as it is wandering around the map? Still, Acolyte making its way over. It will scout out this particular position, as the Mountain King is militia creeping out the Null Overseer creep camp. This does come as a bit of a surprise to me. Mountain King also absorbing a bit of damage, as the Death Knight now making its way over. Are we going to see this Null Overseer get taken down? That is the question there. Yes, it will get taken down. Mountain King does have Claws of Attack +6. Peasant gets taken down very quickly with a Death Coil to the head. And now the Death Knight is trying to chase a little bit further. Oh, that one peasant isn't going to get taken down. There's another Death Coil, long distance Death Coil. What, 150 mana, 450 experience, and also 150 or even more gold, but 240 gold. There, as the Mountain King now moving down off over here in order to do some militia creeping. That is going to be a very dangerous move, as the skeletal minions are trying to come in as well. The militia are really not necessary in this particular situation, but WFZ is actually causing a bit of problems for Yumiko. Mountain King sitting at level 2 does have Bash already. There is the mass skeletal minion army trying to engage. Is anything going to happen here? WFZ is trading hit points on skeletal warriors with time life for hit points on the Mountain King and these other units here. It looks like this one skeletal minion is going to get taken down. There is a Bash. There's another skeletal minion, as the Mountain King getting closer and closer to level 3. Death Knight now tries to make its way in. How much damage is going to be dealt? There's another Death Coil. WFZ doing a great job taking down a lot of these lower hit point peasants. But now WFZ is in a bit of trouble. Is he going to be able to slip out? No, he is not. Forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal. Death Knight, skeletal minions now back. We are halfway to Halls of the Dead. Crypt Fiends are being added, but WFZ does not seem that strong right now. WFZ now making its way off over here to the top left, scouts out the Ogre Magi camp. There is one Acolyte here, and the Acolyte is just going to back away to the very top. All right, here we go. The Mountain King most likely is just going to, there you go, waking up the creeps. And there is the surround. Can this Acolyte actually get a kill steal? That would be an absolute amazing task, as the militia are now pushing back this Acolyte. Down goes that one Ogre Magi. We can see Talisman of Evasion has been dropped. 15% dodge rate. Very nicely done, as we are now up to, what, 775 hit points on that Mountain King, growing even more steadily, as that Mountain King is going to pick up that Tome of Agility. 4 armor on that Mountain King. Meanwhile, the Death Knight sitting at level 2 only, looking to try and creep out this creep camp. This is going to be a problem for that Death Knight. The Death Knight is relatively low on hit points and needs to finish off this creep camp very quickly. Skeletal minions are backing off here. You can see the Mountain King now coming back in from the north. Is he going to be able to put down that pressure as the Acolyte, wow, escapes at 12 hit points? Crypt Fiends, Death Knight, Lich now being trained. I am still surprised that we don't see a slaughterhouse just quite yet. WFZ should normally be summoning a slaughterhouse here in just a moment. Is that it? Yes, it is, and we are going to be going into those obsidian statues. Footmen now taking a look around as we are going to see skeletal warriors now push into Yumiko's base over here at the 10 o'clock position. Down goes one peasant there. It gets taken down without much of an issue. More skeletal warriors now making their way across, as this may actually be a lot of damage being dealt to this particular gold mine line. Skeletal minions will fall. How much time life is left on these skeletal minions? About 1/4. That's not going to be very long at all, as the Mountain King still capitalizing on a lot of these units in transit. Skeletal warriors now pushing their way in. They're not going to really be able to do much damage, if any damage at all. Just taking away, shedding some hit points off of a peasant, but those peasants will not fall as the time life is up. Yumiko now finishing out this creep camp here. You can see Yumiko hiring up a couple of mercenaries. Meanwhile, the Death Knight now moving out with the Lich, level 2, level 1, against what I believe would be a very or already level 3 Mountain King. Mountain King gonna come in. There's a Stormbolt, catches the Death Knight, and now the Death Knight, down to 250 some odd hit points, is forced to back away. Mountain King still trying to give chase. Is it gonna be enough? There's another Stormbolt, and now the Death Knight sitting at 100 hit points as the Mountain King tries to get in some bashing. Is it gonna be enough? Tries to get in front again. Is it gonna be enough? There's a Stormbolt, and a beautiful utilization of the Potion of Healing as the Death Knight now comes over the top and tries to counterattack. Meanwhile, you can see that the Lich has gotten very close to level 2. For some reason, not picking up Gloves of Haste, as the Lich now still making its rounds. Death Knight now moving off to the north. You can see Arcane Vaults being built down off over here as Yumiko is trying to creep out a Goblin Laboratory. This should be a very easy creep camp. And the Rock Golems do fall. Tome of Intelligence +2 plus... what is the item? I'm not quite sure. I can't quite tell. It is Devotion Aura. And still, Lich sitting at level 2, Death Knight sitting at level 2, trying to finish this particular creep camp. Forest Trolls will all get taken down. Rock Golem and Ogre Warriors will get taken down as well. One easy shot would take it down. And there it goes. Finally taken down there. Rock Golem finally getting taken down. Level 3 on the Death Knight. Are we perhaps going to see a creeping out of this last creep here? Not quite sure. No, it does not appear to be so, as the Crypt Fiends, the Death Knight, and the Lich now looking to put pressure here. Yumiko, however, very well protected on the top left-hand side of the map. You can see the multiple guard towers, and without any sort of siege range unit, it is not going to work out well. Yumiko quickly coming over with the Scroll Town Portal, gonna come in, and Footman with mass heal pushes back all of these Crypt Fiends. Here in comes the attack now. There is a Death Coil onto that one Troll Shadow Priest. Footmen are now trying to engage against all of these units. There's a Death Coil saving the Crypt Fiend. The Crypt Fiend does have a fair amount of armor as the Militia are being brought over as well. There is a Burrow followed by a Dust of Appearance. Will this Footman fall? Is an easy, good question, and all it needs to do is take one shot there. There it goes. The Lich able to focus it down, and more units are still in retreat. Meat Wagon now coming into position, perhaps going to take down this one particular keep very easily. Meanwhile, the Mountain King looking to try to push in, only sitting on one hero at this point, as the keep is not yet done. Alright, here you have the keep now down to about down to 2/3 of its life. Skeletal minions getting taken down as the Mountain King now gets up to level 4. This is going to be very problematic. as level 4 is going to open up a higher bash rate and also move on to level 5 even more quickly. Alright, the meat wagon dealing a lot of damage here, but is it going to catch any of the units? No, it is not, and now there goes that Mountain King trying to escape and run away. Double meat wagons just lobbing siege attacks against this one building. The keep now down very, very low as the footmen and the Mountain Kings are looking to come in. The meat wagons could just focus down all of these towers or do something else, as we now see another Crypt Fiend. Lich, however, in a bit of trouble. Is it going to be able to escape? Yes, it will. And the footmen are still trying to engage. There you have it. The meat wagon continuing to battle it out here. As Twisted Meadows, there is another death coil. WFZ been saving all of his units. And this really goes to show you how much importance Micro has. One Crypt Fiend does get taken down. Dust of Appearance utilized by that Mountain King. Mountain King, however, out of dust. Is it going to work as another footman falls? I believe Yumiko has superior numbers and will be able to push this all the way back. Oh, what is this though? Goblin Shredder down to 200 some odd hit points. One low hit point meat wagon trying to get away. Will be able to do exactly that. Down it goes as the Death Knight now sits at level 3. Obsidian statues, meat wagons, acolytes. Acolyte needs to be on auto repair to repair this meat wagon. Meat wagon ready to come in. 5 armor. Is it going to be enough? Peasants are off over here. They're going to be able to repair this keep rather nicely as the Crypt Fiends. As the Crypt Fiends are now just using their long range attack. So far, Yumiko sitting at 49 over 60, getting in a very strong economic lead, but that Arcane Tower with such a long range is causing a bit of problems. WFZ trying to fight back and even up the series at 1 game apiece. Is it going to work out as the keep is now absolutely getting bombarded by attacks with 3 meat wagons. The meat wagon should be enough to take it down. You can see every time those peasants try and repair, a large chunk of health does get removed, pretty substantial, as now the footmen are now making their way off to the north. We can see the Lich now sitting at level 3. What is he going to be doing next? Attempting to take down this one keep. Keep now down to 1100 hit points. Militia now being called over. And all of these units are now backing off. There's that Mountain King. Mountain King quickly gets Frost Nova there, as the Death Knight may try and come in with the Death Coil as well. There's that Death Coil. Mountain King now down to 300 some odd hit points. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability may be used as the Blood Mage is sitting at 150. Let's see what's going to be happening here. Mountain King sitting at 400, almost 500 hit points. There's the Potion of Invulnerability, and now going after all of these units. Yumiko really cleaning up, and also will have plenty of mana on that Mountain King with the help of that Siphon mana ability, the Blood Mage acting as a mana battery. Death Knight now looking to come down here. Footman, or sorry, Mountain King now looking to try and engage. This is not looking good at all. Are we going to perhaps see an engagement? It looks as though, yes, one of those footmen will get taken down. Here's another engagement. Militia now pushing in from the other side. There's a Stormbolt catching an obsidian statue, and I believe it was actually meant for the Lich, as all the units are still trying to attack. The Death Knight could easily just turn around and try and Frost Nova here if it actually decided to. Blood Mage taking a bit of damage, and now the Blood Mage sitting at level 2. Siphon mana plus mana shield equals a dead Death Knight, most likely. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. There's a Death Coil now seen on a level 4 Death Knight. And is he going to be able to sneak his way out? Alright, there goes one unit. Is he going to be able to get another unit out? Yes, he looks like he will be able to get another unit out. The Death Knight has a full Potion of Lesser Invulnerability there, but he finally gets Stormbolted, and there is the GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 2. Please stay tuned for an extra bonus game between, I believe it is going to be WFZ and Tho. Yeah, this was a best of 3 series, and Yumiko took the first 2 games. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.